Good day to each and everyone, ladies and gentlemen. Once again, ito po ang inyong abang lingkod, Mr. Sammy D. Estoque, para ipagpatuloy yung pong ating discussion sa subject na Introduction to Criminology. No? So, kapag ka hindi mo pa napapanood yung part 1, I advise you to watch the part 1 of the video presentation of this lecture series. Okay? So let us continue our discussion about criminology. No? Yan. So, may isang debatable topic na nag-arise, whether criminology is a science or not. Okay? At yung pong mga respected personalities in criminology profession have given their idea whether criminology is a science or not. No? So, question is that, is criminology a science? Okay? So, according to Edwin H. Sutherland and Donald R. Cresay, American authors of the book Principles of Criminology, they were in that book, they also introduced the criminology term, and of course, they have given the universal definition of criminology. No? Nasabi nila na ang criminology is the study of crime as a social phenomenon which involves the making of laws, the breaking of laws, and of course, the reaction of the society towards the breaking of laws. At doon nga na-introduce yung pong main na scope of criminology, yung pong sociology of law, yung pong criminal etiology or crime causation, at yun nga pong penology. Okay? O sabi nila, sabi ni Edwin Sutherland and Donald Cresay, they claim that criminology at present is not a science. Okay? Sa kadahilanan, pagka sinabi mo kasing science, pagka ginawa mo ang isang bagay ng paulit-ulit, ay iisa ang magiging resulta. Okay? Yan, pag sinabing absolute science. But, sabi niya, it has hope of becoming a science. Okay? So that is the idea that was given by Edwin Sutherland and Donald Cresay. Sa ngayon, hindi pa siya science, pero mayroon pong pag-asa na ang criminology ay magiging science. Okay? George L. Wilker argued that criminology cannot possibly become a science. So yun po yung sabi naman ni George Wilker, hindi po pwedeng maging science ang criminology. Bakit daw? Bakit daw hindi po pwede? Kasi sabi niya, general proposition of universal validity are essence of science. Such propositions can be made only regarding stable and homogeneous unit, but varies from one time to another. Therefore, universal proposition cannot be made regarding crime, and scientific studies of criminal behavior is impossible. Eh, sabi niya, hindi naman stable ang criminology, may pagbabago. Tama nga naman. Meron siyang tama, si George Wilker. Kasi ang criminology, habang nadadagdagan ng krimen, meron ulit panibagong scope ang criminology. Okay? And kahit sundin yung buong proseso, sabi ko nga, parehas na proseso ay hindi po magkakaroon ng parehas na resulta. Diba? Yan. Then, on the other hand, Cirilo Imtradio humbly submits that criminology is a science. Okay? So yung kauna-unahang nagsabit, sabi niya, criminology is a science. The argument is that crime is universally defined. May definition. Ang crime, sabi niya, it is the commission or omission by a person having capacity of any act which is either prohibited or compelled by law. and the commission or omission which is punishable by the proceeding, but in the name of the government or people, no, for that matter, whose law has been violated. Okay, so explanation for causes of crimes are universally the same. The cause of crime in the Philippines, which can be contributed to social organization, weakening of social control, biological, economic, and psychological factors could be the same causes of crime in all parts of the world. So yun naman po yung proposition ni Cirilo M. Trajo. So may nagsasabi na ang criminology cannot be possibly a science because it is not stable, of course. It is progressive, no? While Cirilo M. Trajo, sabi naman niya, ito po ay science. Kasi meron naman pong universal definition ng crime. Meron naman pong universal definition ng criminology, no? Yan. At yung pong mga causes of crime may be the same, sabi niya, no? Okay? However, criminology at present is not an absolute science. So yun na lang po yung sinabi, no? Criminology is a science, sabi ng ibang mga author or respected personality in criminology. Sabi naman ng iba, cannot be possibly a science. Okay? However, at present, sabi dyan, maybe it involves science, but it is not absolute science. Okay? So for anything which is absolute, it is the same at all times in all places. What makes criminology therefore at present not absolute science is how criminal or penal law of a particular state define crimes, treats of their nature, and provides for their punishment. Thus, an act or omission may be punishable in one country, but not in other country. Like for example po, ano, yung pong possession of firearms dito sa Pilipinas, no? Meron pong illegal possession of firearms. Sa ibang bansa, wala pong batas na nagko-control sa possession of firearms. Dito, meron. Kaya sabi, it is not an absolute science because it is not the same at all times. Okay? Iba-ibang bansa, meron po ibang-ibang batas. Ganon, no? So, that is the reason why it is not absolute science. But in some field of study, it involves science. Okay, like for example, yung pong mga physical evidence which can be used for the solution of crimes, that is absolute science. Tulad po ng forensic ballistics, question document examination, and other field of criminalistics. Okay? So, yun po mga pangarap. It's up to you. What will you believe? Whether it is a science or it is not. Okay? Yan. So, what are the agencies and sectors which are associated to criminology? No? So, ano naman po yung ahensya or sector na associated or linked sa criminology profession or criminology? All legislative bodies and lawmakers is associated with criminology, considering that they are the one who pass or make law, no? Yan. The law enforcement agencies is associated with our course criminology or Bachelor of Science in Criminology or to the criminology discipline, considering that they enforce laws, specifically yung pong criminal laws. Okay? Courts and prosecution, dahil prosecution, sila po yung nagpo-prosecute ng cases. Courts will be the one to determine whether a law was violated or not, whether a crime was committed or not. No? So correctional institution is involved in understanding the causes of criminal behavior so that they could be able to develop the solution on how to rehabilitate the offenders, okay? And understand, no, the causes of crime, behavior of offenders, and so on. The educational institution in schools, private or public, considering that they offer the degree Bachelor of Science in Criminology. Public and charitable and social agencies, especially the agencies, no, which are created, no, for providing support to the victims of crime. We have also public welfare agencies, no, non-governmental organizations, the family and the home, the church, no, the private charitable and welfare institution, civic clubs, organizations, print media, no, kung saan isa sa kanilang focus ng kanilang investigative reporting is about crimes, no, radio, and of course television. So ito lamang po yung pong mga sektor ng ating komunidad or society na associated doon po sa ating profession. Kaya nga sinabi ang criminology is a multidisciplinary, no, field of discipline, because it is involving a lot of discipline, no? This is a combination of different discipline. That's why the knowledge in criminology can also be used in these different agencies. Okay? Then let us also discuss the career tree for criminology. No? So if in case that you have enrolled in Bachelor of Science in Criminology and you will graduate, no, in the criminology course and pass the board examination, then ano po yung mga possible promising career, no? So we have here technical careers, okay, such as but not limited to police officer or state trooper, that is in United States of America, because this is a career tree from United States of America, from York Tech College, no? Okay, bakit hindi po yung pong career tree for criminology dito sa Pilipinas, yung pong aking ginamit? Kasi kayo po ang gagawa ng career tree for criminology. Okay? And of course, you should highlight your chosen career, yung gusto mo. At least tatlo, no? Na gusto mo, yung pong unang choice mo, pangalawa at pangatlo. Okay? So yung third na or three careers na gusto mo sa future. Okay? So you can be part of the law enforcement agencies, no? Pwede kang maging detective, K9 officer, no? SWAT, no? They have a specialized training, they have technical careers. You have CSI or crime laboratory evidence technicians, computer forensics. You have also bike or motorcycle or mounted police force or mounted patrol, no? Sa atin ay pwede kang pumunta sa HPG or Highway Patrol Group, no? Pagka ikaw po ina-assign sa patrol, then you can use bike patrol, motorcycle patrol, and so on, no? Hazmat response team, okay? Deputy sheriff, doon po sa US, wildlife conservation officer, probation officer, national parks officer, and so on and so forth. At marami pa pong iba. Okay? Basta may kinalaman po sa kursong criminology. Okay, meron din pong professional careers, okay, like for example, chief of police, federal agent sa Pilipinas ay NBI agent, no? CIA sa Pilipinas, NICA, okay? If you also want to pursue your law later on, no? Maganda rin pong kurso na nakunin, no? Yung pong preparatory course for law para maging judge ka ang criminology, no? You can be a US Marshal or Air Marshal. Sa Pilipinas, pwede ka rin maging sundalo, no? You can apply for lateral entry. Director of Emergency Situations, no? Or Emergency Management, okay? Prison Warden, Chief Deputy Sheriff, Director of Emergency Services, can be instructor or teacher, no, professor, criminology practitioner, coroner, no, district attorney lawyer, review lecturer, and so on and so forth. Okay? So entry-level careers with program completion, you can be a police cadet, no, loss prevention, private security, 911 dispatch, military, animal control, campus security, corrections officer, community service officer, parking enforcement, PSA agent, and EMT. So ang dami pong pwedeng puntahan, no, kapag kayo po graduate ng Bachelor of Science in Criminology. Okay? Kaya kung naka-enroll ka sa kursong Criminology, abay tama yung decision mo. Okay? Sapagkat ang dami pong career na naghihintay sa'yo. Diba? Sa Pilipinas, kapag ikaw po ay licensed criminologist at meron kang specialization sa question document examination, pwede ka rin magtrabaho sa bangko bilang question document examiner or signature verifier. Diba? Pagka gusto mong pumunta sa law enforcement service, ay pwedeng-pwede rin. Okay? Pagka gusto mong pumunta sa Armed Forces of the Philippines, okay, you have also an eligibility after passing the board exam, for lateral entry, pwede kang mag-apply doon. So, ang dami pong career paths for criminology and it's up to you to choose. Okay? Before I end this slide, no, I just want to request something from you, ladies and gentlemen. Okay? Based from Republic Act number 11131, kindly create your own career tree for criminology. Okay? So please create your own career tree for criminology and you will report that later on. Okay? So take note. Please prepare your own career tree for criminology. You can use this model, no? But the content of your career tree for criminology should be based from the provision of Republic Act number 11131. Okay? Yan po, no? Let us proceed to the next slide, no? So, ang ating pag-uusapan po dito sa next slide is about the scope of criminology according to Edwin Sutherland and Donald Cesare na napahapyawan din doon po sa first video presentation. So, what is the scope of criminology according to Sutherland and Cesare? No? The scope of criminology includes the making of laws, paggawa ng batas, no, also known as the sociology of law, the breaking of laws, or also known as criminal etiology, or the study of the causes of crime, or also known as crime causation, and the reaction towards the breaking of laws, or also known as penology. Okay? So, umpisahan po natin doon po sa making of laws, or yung pong tinatawag na sociology of law. The sociology of law pertains to the examination of nature and structure of laws in the society, which could be analyzed scientifically and exhaustively to learn crime causation and evenly help to fight them. Okay, sa sociology of law, ang pinag-aaralan po dyan, ano po yung pong mga batas na dapat ipasa, no, para makontrol yung pong acts of the society. Ano ang impact ng pong batas doon po sa society? Nung ipinasaba yung batas na yan ay wala ng krimen na nangyayari or dumami ang krimen na nangyayari. Okay? So it also includes the origin of the different types of laws, no? Tulad po ng mga batas na inadapt mula sa ibang bansa o yung pong mga doctrine from other countries. Okay? And kung nung in-apply yan sa ating society, ano ang naging reaksyon? Ano ang naging resulta, no, nung pong batas nung ipinasa? Dumami ba ang krimen or nabawasan ang krimen? Okay, so that is the sociology of law. Okay, like for example, when they passed the early legal system, tulad ng Code of Hammurabi, which imposed a barbaric and inhumane punishment, okay? Huminto na ba ang crime? Okay? Kung hindi huminto ng krimen, so ano dapat ang gawin? Kailangan bang i-revise yung batas na yan? So that is part of sociology of law na tinatawag. Okay, that is Code of Hammurabi in Babylon, di ba? That's the early legal systems or early codes or early laws. They have also the Mosaic Code of Israel, no, to control the acts of the community, especially those acts which are detrimental to the society. We have also the Draconian Code of Greece, the Hindu Code of Mano of India, the Quran for Islamic societies, and the Kalanchaw Code of the Philippines, which was passed in 1433, is considered as the oldest written law in the Philippines, which provides harsh and barbaric punishment. Di ba? So, nung ipinasa ba yung batas na yun, yung harsh and barbaric punishment, tumigil ba ang mga tao sa pag-commit ng krimen? Okay? So, yun po yung pinag-aaralan sa sociology of law. The nature of law, the origin of the law, and the impact of the law in the society when it will be applied or implemented. Okay? So, next po is yung pong breaking of laws, or also known as the criminal etiology. The breaking of laws, it is concentrated in the scientific analysis of causes of crimes. Dito po sa criminal etiology, no, ay marami po tayong pag-aaralang theories of causation of crime, but that will be discussed in your theories in causation of crime. No? The subject was already separated, wherein there are a lot of theories explaining the causes of crime. No? Merong sinasabi doon na ang isang tao ay nakakakomit ng krimen dahil po sa kanyang society, okay? Dahil inimpluwensyahan siya ng kanyang society. Ang isang tao ay nakakomit ng krimen dahil meron siyang konting sira sa pag-iisip, no? Or meron siyang mental disorder, ganon, ano? So, psychiatric criminology, no? Sociological criminology, yan, no? So, there are different causes according to this study, no? And a lot of criminology have focused their efforts in determining the causes of crime, considering that if you will be able to understand what is the reason why crime exists, then you can also provide an idea on how to prevent the occurrence of it. Diba? Yan. So, it primarily deals to answer issues why, despite of the presence of laws, people still commit crime. Tama nga naman, no? May mga batas na ang tataas ng punishment, pero bakit meron pa rin mga tao ang kukumit ng krimen? Ano kaya ang dahilan? Di ba? So, yun po yung focus ng pong tinatawag na criminal etiology or the breaking of laws. Okay, or also known as crime causation. Okay, in this area, where most people think when they think of criminology, it generally referred to as the area of criminogenesis or etiology, no? Or the study of causes, or also known as crime causation. Okay, then last but not the least is the reaction towards the breaking of laws, which involves the study of reaction of people and government towards the breaking of laws. What will happen if a certain person committed an act which is not in accordance, no, with the law? Ba? So anong reaction mo kung ikaw, ba, bibigyan ng parusa yung pong tao? Tama? Kaya po na-introduce yung po tinatawag pong penology. Because that is the reaction of the people or the society towards the breaking of law. Okay? They impose punishment. Okay? So the punishment, of course, depends on the nature of the offense that was committed. So meron pong principles na sinusunod din doon po sa imposition of penalty, which will be discussed later on. No? Iisa-isahin po natin yan, yung pong making of law, what is law, what are the different type of law in the succeeding chapters of our subject matter. Ganon din po yung breaking of laws, pahatiwan po natin, and of course, penology. Okay? Yan po, pag-aaralan natin isa-isa yan. Okay, so that is the introduction about the scope of criminology. That is the three major scope of criminology. Okay? So let us now proceed to the next slide, which is all about the reason why members of the society be interested in crime. Bakit kailangan maging interesado? Hindi lang po yung pong mga criminology yung dapat interesado sa crime, kundi lahat po ng miyembro ng ating mundong ginagalawan. No? Why? Because of the following reason. Why you must be interested in the study of crime. Bakit po kaya? No? So una, because crime is pervasive. Okay? So crime is pervasive. Most members of the society are once common victim of crime regardless of sex, race, age, nationality, religion, financial condition, education, and other personal circumstances. Kahit sino ay pwedeng maging biktima. So kailangan aware tayo kung ano yung pong mga iba't ibang klase ng krimen, ano yung pong iba't ibang klase ng modus operandi, so that you will not be victimized. Yung iba sabi, hindi na kailangan na malaman ko yung mga yan. Kasi, ako po'y doktor. Doctor of education or doctor of medicine. Okay? Take note, crime is pervasive. Wala pong pinipili ito sa ating society. And this is also prevalent in our society. And anyone could be a victim. It can be you. It can be your family members. Or kahit sino pa. No? Yan. So you should be aware about crime. Especially the modus operandi and so on. Okay? So that you will not become a victim. Second, because crime is expensive, okay, or simply costly. The government and private sector spend of course, huge money dito. Kasi kung ikaw ay naging biktima, anong mangyayari? Magpa-file ka po ng kaso, mag-hire ka ng abogado, di ba? Yan, and the police officer will do a lot of effort, no? And of course, the government magkakagastos-gastos. Yan, no? So, crime is expensive or costly. Simply the government and private sector spend enormous amount of money for crime detection, ba? Prosecution, correction. Siyempre, kung nakonvict yung tao, pakakainin po ng government yon habang siya nire-reform. Such expenses could be direct or indirect on the part of government. Simply stated, crime is costly problem, but nobody knows how much it costs. Okay? Kaya po ang ating gobyerno po nagkakampanya, no? Para yung pong ating mga miyembro ng society ay ma-inform regarding the different modus operandi of criminals, no? To avoid these costly prosecution, rehabilitation, no? And of course, adjudication or litigation of the cases. Okay? So take note, you should be aware about crime, or you must be interested to study crime because it is costly. And if you will study crime, then that is already part of criminology. Okay? Another reason is that crime is destructive. In short, crime is destructive because it could destroy the life, okay, your life or the life of your loved ones, no? And your properties. Okay? So, kailangan alam mo rin para sa ganun ay ma-prevent yung pong destruction that the crime could cause. Diba? Yan. So, crime is destructive. So, you must know what is crime for you to avoid them. Number 4, crime is reflective. In the sense that crime rate or incident in a given locality is reflective of the effectiveness of the social defenses employed by government in the people, particularly the law enforcers. So, the crime rate is a reflection of the performance of the law enforcement agencies and, of course, the society for the control of crime. Okay? Ganun po, yung sinasabing crime is reflective. Diba? Then, number 5, or last but not the least, no? Crime is progressive. Aside from crime is pervasive, anyone could be a victim, no? Kahit na yung pong mga knowledgeable na about the topics in criminology should continue their learnings, no? Why? Because crime is progressive, meaning it increases and change. Take note, sabi nga nila, there is no permanent in this world except change. Okay? So kung ikaw po ay criminology practitioner at sa tingin mo ay alam mo na lahat tungkol po sa crime, tungkol sa criminology, okay, better think twice. Right? If you are already PhD in criminology and you think you already know all things about criminology, you should think twice. Why? Because crime is progressive, or the scope of criminology also is progressive when crime is progressive. Why? Because the study of criminology is crime. Diba? So it increased and it changed. Kaya sabi nung pong isang theorists in the person of Emile Durkheim, crime is functional. It changes as the time goes by. Noong unang panahon, sabi nga niya isang tao lang ang nagkukumit ng isang krimen. Tapos naging dalawa o higit pa. At sabi niya, ang tawag doon, sindikato. Di ba? Nung nagkaroon ng organizational structure yung mga tao para mag-commit ng krimen, ano nang tawag? Organized criminal group. Organized criminal group dahil meron na po itong organizational structure. Diba? Tapos yung problema ngayon ng halos lahat ng bansa, may ugnayan yung pong organized criminal group in different countries. Okay? Yun na po yung tinatawag na transnational organized criminal group. So crime is really progressive. It changes from time to time. Okay? So mas malaking hamon na po ngayon yung pong crime na sinosolve ng ating law enforcement agencies. So we need to learn these things in order for us to address it. Diba? Noon wala pong cybercrime. Anong unang panahon? Kaya yung mga magagaling criminologists noon, kailangan pa rin nilang ipagpatuloy ang pag-aaral kasi noon wala pong cybercrime. Magaling sila noon sa investigation, yung ating law enforcement agencies. Diba? Pero nung umuso yung pong cybercrime or crime committed through the use of internet, so kailangan ulit nilang mag-aral about the new trends of crime. Okay? So crime is progressive. Okay? It changes, take note, from time to time. So take note of the reason why members of the community must be interested, no, in studying crime. Okay? This is for crime prevention purposes because crime is pervasive, walang pinipili, kahit sino ay pwedeng maging biktima. So, the members of the society should be aware of it. Crime is also expensive or costly. Crime is destructive. It can destroy your life or the life of your loved ones and your properties. No? Crime is reflective, okay? And crime is progressive. It changes from time to time, so we need a continuous learning in the field of criminology. Okay. Susunod na slide ay ito po tungkol sa major allied sciences of criminology. No? So criminology is a multidisciplinary study as we have discussed earlier, no? And it is one of the definition, no? That criminology is a multidisciplinary study because it involves many disciplines, no? It involves the collection of knowledge or mixture of knowledge about anthropology, sociology, psychiatry, psychology, no, biology, neurology, political science, it is about the laws, no, and economic. But over the years, the study of crime been dominated by 5 major allied sciences. Okay? And what are the 5 major allied sciences of criminology? Now, take note, criminology is a combination or mixture of different profession. No? That's why it is considered as multidisciplinary field of discipline because it involves sociology, the study of the society, because crime occurs where? At the society. Okay? We have also biology, study of a person, how a person become criminal, no? Does our biological structure have something to do with our reason for the commission of crime, no? Meron bang epekto yung pong ating biological composition, no? Namamana ba ang pagiging kriminal, di ba? So biology and so on. So the major allied sciences of criminology includes the sociology, or what we call a sociological criminology. It is the study of crime that is focused on group of people and society as a whole. It primarily based on examination of relationship of demographic and group variables to crime. Variables such as socioeconomic status, interpersonal relationship, age, race, and cultural groups of people, no, are probed in relation to environmental factors that are the most conducive to criminal actions at this time and place and circumstances surrounding the crime. In short, ang sociological criminology is the study of the society where a certain criminal belongs and thus this society is contributory. Why a crime occurs? Meron bang contribution yung pong society na kinabibilangan ng isang tao kung bakit siya nakakagawa ng krimen? That is the sociology or sociological criminology or the focus of sociological criminology. No? Psychology or psychological criminology deals with the study of behavior and mental process of criminals. It focuses on the individual criminal behavior, no? How it is acquired, evolved, maintained, and modified. Both environmental and personal influences are considered along with the mental process that mediate the behavior. The focus of the psychological criminology or the psychology is that thus the mental process of a certain person, okay, push him to commit a crime. Okay? So doon na papasok yung pong psychoanalysis, no? Psychoanalytical theory by Simon Freud, na kung tawagin, no? Yung ego, super ego, diba? So, paano mag-isip ang isang tao? Okay? Bakit siya nagkaroon ng ganong klase ng behavior? Because of his mental processes. Yan. So that is according to the psychological criminology or psychology. Psychiatry or psychiatric criminology refers to a science that deals with the study of crime through forensic psychiatry. The study of criminal behavior in terms of motives and drives that strongly relies to an individual. Okay, so yung focus ng psychiatry, no, nagsasabi o pinag-aaralan yung pong isang tao nakakommit ng krimen mainly because of his mental status, no? What is his motive in the commission of crime? So doon po sa psychology is the mental processes. Pero meron pong kinalaman yung pong kanyang paglaki, kaya naka-apekto doon po sa kanyang mental processes. Ganun po yung sa psychology. Pero sa psychiatry, yung pong mismong pag-iisip mo lang, nasa sayo kung paano mo kontrolin ang inyong utak, no? Para hindi ka makagawa ng krimen. Diba? So yun. Then anthropology or the anthropological criminology, which deals with the study of mankind, particularly the culture and physical features or distinctive groups of people. Okay? So, anthropology, pinag-aaralan yung pong klase ng tao, yung pong development ng tao, psychological development, biological development, no? O dito na pinag-aaralan kung ang isang tao ay mataba or mesomorph, no? Ectomorph or endomorph, yan. Doon dyan papasok yung pong tinatawag na somatotyping theory. Diba? Kung gano'n ang body physics mo, mataba, usually na krimen ay fraud or estafa, diba? Yung mahaba yung kamay, matatangkad, usually na krimen ay theft, gano'n, no? So that is anthropological criminology, focused in the study of the mankind and the development of biological and psychological development of person, which have a contribution in the commission of crime. No? Then we have physiology or the physiological criminology, which deals with the studies of functions of various organs of the body in relation to behavior of a particular person. Okay? So, organs naman in relation to the commission of crime. Diba? So, yung ngabang ating various organs of the body, okay, have a connection, no, in the commission of crime. Okay? So, these major allied sciences of criminology, no, will be discussed further, no, in your theories and causation of crime. Okay? That will be one of the subject which is focused in the causes of crime. Okay? At makikita natin doon yung epekto ng society, no, doon po sa tao, bakit siya nakakagawa ng krimen, yung epekto po nung pong pag-iisip or mental process, okay, naapektuhan ang mental process ng isang tao nung siya ay bata, kasi palagi siyang pinapalo ng magulang, kaya later on naapektuhan yung kanyang mental process or yung mental conditioning niya, kaya po siya nakagawa ng krimen nung siya po ay lumaki. Kaya yung isang tao ay normal na ganyan yung kanyang pag-uutak o pag-iisip, kaya kapag naharap sa isang sitwasyon, that is psychiatric criminology, and kaya nakagawa kaya because of his physical structures, no? Then ay anthropology, no? Or doon sa kanyang physiological structures, yun naman po ay sa Physiological criminology. Okay? So next topic would be the important terms, no, or the factors that enhance the development of criminal behavior. Okay? Important terms related to criminology. No? So what are the important terms that enhance the development of criminal behavior? We have criminal sociology pa rin, no? It is the study of social condition of crime and criminals, including the machinery of justice and the evolution of criminal law and the punishment. So anong pinag-aaralan po dito? The condition of crimes, no? And the condition of criminals to include the criminal justice system and the effect of the law to our society, no? So criminal sociology. We have criminal psychiatry, the study of human mind in relation to criminality. Criminal psychiatry. We have also criminal ecology, the study of criminality in relation to spatial distribution in the community. So maybe a certain person committed crime because of the ecosystem where he or she belongs. Okay, dyan napapasok yung pong differential association theory. Kung sino-sino yung kasama mo, yung kanilang ugali, pag-uugali at ginagawa ay pwede mong matularan. So kung palagi kang ang kasama mo'y kriminal, so ano kayang mangyayari? Yan. So kung ang kinabibilangan mo or yan sa lugar ninyo ay mahirap ang pagkain, diba? So what will happen? Diba? So, ganun po, no? So, maitutulak ka kaya para gumawa ng krimen? Diba? O ganun. Then, criminal demography, the study of relationship between criminology and population. Habang tumataas ang population, ano bang nangyayari? Bumaba ba kaya ang krimen? Diba? Or tumataas yung krimen habang tumataas ang population? Diba? So, that is pertaining to the crime rate, no? Demography. Then we have criminal epidemiology, the study of relationship between the environment and criminality. Thus, the environment of a certain person, including the people behind him or around him, will push him to commit crime. No? Yan. Then we have criminal physical anthropology, the study of criminality in relation to physical constitution of men. And last but not the least is victimology, which encroaches the study of the role of victim in the commission of crime. So meron bang contribution ang biktima? Bakit siya po ay nagiging biktima ng isang krimen? Baka naman siya po ay nagbigay ng oportunidad, so, para yung pong isang tao ay makagawa ng krimen laban sa kanya. So, ganun po, no? Yung victimology. Okay? So, those are the important terms or factors that enhance the development of criminal behavior. Okay? You have criminal sociology, society, and crime. So, to include the criminal law, the punishment which is being imposed by the society. We have criminal psychiatry, no? The study of human mind in relation to criminality. Ecology, the study of criminality in relation to spatial distribution in the community. Then you have demography. Demo means people, graphy means the graph of the population. No? Then we have criminal physical anthropology, nga po yung pag-aaral po doon po sa physical constitution or yung pong body physics, no? In relation to criminality. Then we have victimology, which is focused in the study of the role of the victim in the occurrence of crime. Okay? So, yun po yung mga dapat yung malaman about doon po sa important terminologies in criminology. So let us proceed to important personalities in the study of criminology. Ito po ay mga importanteng personalidad no, na nag-introduce ng idea tungkol po sa development of criminology. Umpisahan po natin kay Dr. Cesare Lombroso. Okay? Dr. Cesare Lombroso, ladies and gentlemen, is the father of the positivist theory. Okay? So, he is the one who advocated the positivist theory or positive. So, sa kanyang positivist theory, siya po ay nag-focus sa pag-aaral ng mga criminal, hindi po sa crime. No? At sinabi niya sa kanyang positivist theory that criminals, no, should not be punished. Okay? Because criminals are considered sick individuals. Therefore, they need to be reformed. Kailangan silang i-reforma, i-rehabilitate, no, para sila ay magbago at hindi dapat parusahan. Sabi niya sa kanyang positivist theory, no? Yung positivist theory, ang nag-introduce po diyan ay si Auguste Comte. Okay? So, the work of Cesare Lombroso was inspired by the work of Auguste Comte, or the father of sociology. And then ngayon, in-introduce naman ni Sir Lombroso yung pong positivist theory niya. Yung sinasabi nga niya na yung mga tao hindi dapat parusahan, kundi dapat po i-rehabilitate dahil nga po sila nakaka-commit ng krimen dahil sila po ay may sakit. At dahil sa kanyang positivist theory, he became the father of modern or empirical criminology, ladies and gentlemen. Okay? So, ang father of modern criminology is no other than Dr. Cesare Lombroso. Okay? He stated that crime is essentially a social and moral phenomenon, and it cannot be treated and checked by imposition of punishment. Bakit? Kasi pinag-aralan niya no? Sabi niya, meron naman ng punishment, ang tataas ng punishment pagka nakakomit ng isang tao ng krimen, pinapatay, tinutuhog, no? Barbaric and inhuman punishment yung ginagawa. Pero bakit hanggang ngayon nag-i-exist ang krimen? So pinag-aralan niya yung pong mga nakakomit ng krimen at napag-aralan niya na meron ng problema, no, sa kanila. Kaya po pala nakaka-commit sila ng krimen because of the problem, no? Because of the different causes. Yan. So doon na lumilitaw yung pong causation of crime, no? Then sabi din niya, a criminal is just any person who is sick that should be treated in the hospital for his possible rehabilitation and reformation. Likewise, he also authored the book entitled El Humo Delinquente, or also known as The Criminal Man, wherein he introduced the atavism and so on. Okay? So we will discuss that when we reach the main theories explaining the causes of crime. Okay? Yan. Or the causes of crime and why people commit crimes. No? We have also Dr. Charles Bachman Buring, or Dr. Buring, sabi nila, no? An English statistician who studied the case of 2,000 convicted offenders and found that heredity, minamana, no, through genes, is more influential determiner of criminal behavior than environment. He rejected claims that a specific stigma identified a criminal. He convinced that poor physical condition plus defective state of mind were determining factors to criminality. So, ang kanyang na-introduce, sabi niya, mas influential yung heredity or yung genetic factors kaysa doon po sa environment. Ibig sabihin pala, kapag ang tatay mo ay kriminal o nakakakumit ng krimen noon, diba? At napunta sa iyo yung genes, ay magkakaroon or malaki ang chance na ikaw ay magiging criminal din. Di ba? Kasi sabi niya, heredity is more influential than environment. Di ba? So, pwede siguro, no? Kasi yan po ang kanyang research, no? Dahil kung titingnan nga naman natin, physical features ng tatay at nanay ay nakukuha ng anak. Ewan lang natin yung pong kanyang behavior. Diba? Then we have also Alphonse Bertillon. He introduced the first scientific method of personal identification as well as criminal identification through the first scientific method of personal as well as the first scientific, personal and criminal identification through the anthropometry, no? And he stated that the skeleton of person is unchangeable after 20th year. Okay, so yun po yung kanyang proposition. Okay, so he is the first person who introduced the first scientific method of criminal identification, no? And personal identification because of the first scientific method that he introduced in order to identify a certain person who commits a crime. Yan. So, doon po sa solution of crime yung kanyang focus through the use of anthropometry. Okay? Then Edwin Sutherland, he authored a book entitled Principles of Criminology, wherein he stated that criminology is not yet a science, but it has hope of becoming a science. Okay, and he is also the one who introduced the word criminology and gave the universal definition of criminology that is being used until nowadays. Okay, we have also George Wilker. He argued that criminology cannot possibly become a science. Okay, bakit daw, no? Accordingly, general proposition of universal validity are the essence of science. Such proposition can be made only regarding stable and homogeneous units. Pagka stable yung isang bagay, then pag pinag-aralan, it could be a science, sabi niya. But varies from one time to another. Therefore, the universal proposition cannot be made regarding crime in scientific studies of criminal behavior are impossible because these things changes from time to time. We have also Cesare Vicaria, considered as the father of criminology, okay? Because of introducing the first theory, no, of criminology, wherein he focused his study on crimes. Kaya nga yung unang definition ng criminology, it refers to the study of crime. No? So, Cesare Vicaria authored a book entitled An Essay of Crimes and Punishment. He advocated and applied the doctrine of penology, wherein if a certain person have committed a crime, that person need to be punished because of the crime that he committed. So nakafocus po siya sa pag-aaral ng krimen, no? Sa crime na nakomit, hindi po doon sa tao na nag-commit ng crime. Tandaan po 'yon. Si Cesar Lombroso, di ba? Nakafocus siya doon po sa tao na nag-commit ng krimen. Bakit ang isang tao ay nakakomit kaya ng krimen? Because of causes. Different causes. Ayun, no? Yun po yung kaibahan nila. Lombroso focused on criminals, while Cesare Vicaria focused on crime and the punishment. Okay? Yan. So, dahil in-introduce niya yung doctrine of penology, that is to say that make punishment less arbitrary and severe. That all person who violated specific law should receive identical punishment regardless of age, sanity, wealth, position, circumstances. So kahit na may sinto-sinto, diba? Parusahan, kahit bata, kasi regardless of age, sabi nga, no? Yan. Then we have also Rafael Garofalo, is another Italian authority in criminology who developed a concept of natural crime and defined it as a violation of prevalent sentiments of piety and probity. Okay, so he introduced piety, wherein piety pertains to or piety means against the infliction of suffering on others. So, si Rafael Garofalo, ladies and gentlemen, is a student of Cesare Vicaria who advocated the positivist theory, and he is against that a certain person should not be punished, no? You should not inflict suffering on others kasi hindi naman ito mapipigilan yung pong pag-commit ng krimen, kundi dapat kailangan sila po ma-rehabilitate or ma-reform, no? And he also introduced probity, wherein sabi niya you should respect for the property of others also. Yan. So again siya sa pag-inflict ng suffering. At the same time, he introduced probity, wherein respect to property of others should be followed. No? We have also William Adrian Bomer. No? Adrian Bomer. He is the person who classified crimes by motives. He is an international authority in criminology who classified crimes by motives. No? Ano ang motibo ng offender? Bakit niya nakukumit yung krimen? No? Tulad ng crime by passion. Yan. So, economic crimes. No? Kung ang krimen ay may kinalaman po sa pagkuha ng properties that is considered as economic crime, no? Sexual crimes tulad ng rape, no? Tulad ng sexual harassment, okay? We have also political crimes, crimes because of politics, and miscellaneous crimes with vengeance as a principal motive, no? So that is the contribution of Wilhelm Adrian Bonger, no? The classification of crimes by motives. Okay? We have also Henry Goddard. Henry Goddard was the one who advocated the feeble-mindedness is inherited Mendelian unit, sabi niya, no? Feeble-mindedness. Na sinasabi niya na ang isang individual ay nakaka-commit ng krimen, no? Dahil hindi po niya maiintindihan or naiintindihan yung pong consequence ng kanyang behavior, no? Feeble-minded. Pag sinabi nating feeble-minded, no? Ibig sabihin po nito ay sila po ay may sobrang napakababang intelligence quotient, no? So hindi nila maintindihan kung ano yung magiging parusa kung sila ay may nakagawa or meron silang ginawa na isang akto na ito po ay hindi po or taliwas doon po sa batas. Diba? O yun nga po ang feeble-minded, mga kapatid. Diba? So the term feeble-minded was used from late 19th century, the United States and Australasia for disorders later referred to as illness or deficiencies of mind. No, ibig sabihin mahirap makaintindi. Yan. Meron po siyang deficiency. Okay, tulad ng idiocy, no? Tulad ng imbecility and the like. No? Idiot, ayan, feeble-minded. At sinasabi nila na ang feeble-mindedness ay namamana. Kaya daw ang ibang tao ay nakaka-commit ng krimen because of feeble-mindedness. They cannot really understand what is right from what is wrong. Okay, yung pang-10 tao po ay si David W. Mower. In his book, The Big Cone, he once said the dominant culture could control the predatory culture. Okay? So he's an American authority in police administration, no? Wherein, yun nga po ang sabi niya, yung dominant culture ay kaya niyang kontrolin yung pong predatory culture without difficulty. And what is more, it would exterminate them. For no criminal subculture can operate continuously and professionally without the connivance of the law. Yan. So yun po yung sabi ni David Morer. No? The dominant culture could control the predatory culture. So whatever is dominant will be the one to prevail. Then we have also Peter Ranzel. Peter Ranzel, ano naman ang kanyang inintroduce? Peter Ranzel in 1669, he established a workhouse, no? Wherein sabi din niya, pagka daw ang isang tao ay nire-ridicule, no? Or pinapahiya, ay lalong nagiging malala, no? So he is a private person who in 1669 established a workhouse in Hamburg at his own expenses because he had observed that thieves and prostitutes were made worse instead of better by pillory. So kung pinapahiya mo ang isang magnanakaw, isang prostitute, lalong nagiging worse. Hindi po siya magbabago, no? From worse to better sana. Okay? So lalong nagiging mas malala. So para tulungan sila, nag-establish siya ng workhouse, no? Yan. That is Peter Ranzel. Wherein, when he established this workhouse, he hoped that they might be improved by work and religious instruction in the workhouse. Okay? Yan. So pagka ipinapahiya mo ang isang tao, lalong tumitigas yung puso. Parang gano'n yung sabi ni Peter Ranzel, no? We have also John Howard. John Howard has something to do with the penology, which is one of the main scope of criminology. No? John Howard is the father of prison reform. He wrote the state prisons in England. He is a great prison reformer, no? Wherein he investigated, or he personally investigated the prison in England, and he introduced prison reforms because based on his observation, the previous punishment and the reformation that is being conducted in prison is inhumane. No? So binago niya, nireforma niya, o binigyang reforma yung pong pag-treat doon po sa mga prisoners. No? And then we have also Karl Marx in 1818 to 1883. He wrote Communist Manifesto. He stated that capitalism breeds egocentrically greed and predatory behavior. Kasi si Karl Marx, no, inintroduce nga niya yung Marxism, no, ayaw niya ng kapitalista at imperialista. Dahil yun po'y magiging rason kung bakit ang mga tao ay magkukumit ng krimen dahil gusto nilang yumaman. Kaya inintroduce niya na dapat ang mga tao ay pantay-pantay at walang mahirap, walang mayaman. Di ba? Yun po yung Marxism. No? That is Karl Marx. We have also Friedrich Engels. Friedrich Engels blamed competition as the sole factor why people suffer and the reason for the great increase in crimes and arrest dahil sa competition. Dahil meron yung iba gustong mas mayaman, yung iba gustong mag-execute ng krimen sa isang area, kaya po nagkakaroon po ng competition dahil doon nagkakaroon po ng patayan lalo na po grupo per grupo. No? That is Friedrich Engels. We have also Gabriel Tarde who introduced the law of imitation. Okay? So ano yung sinasabi ni Gabriel Tarde sa kanyang law of imitation? Ha? So, na batas daw sa paggaya or ginagaya mo yung isang tao, no? So, Gabriel Tarde introduces law of imitation, which states that individuals emulate or follow the behavior patterns in much same way that they copy styles, dress, or moreover, their pattern to the way of such emulation takes place. Ganon din yung pag-commit ng krimen. For example, iniidolo mo yung isang tao, pati yung pananamit, pati yung kanyang ginagawa. Eh kung yung isang bata, ang iniidolo niya ay yung kung kanyang tatay, na yung tatay niya ay hitman, ang galing niya sa pagpatay, di ba? So, tutularan niya ngayon yon. So that is the law of imitation. Sabi niya, no, meron siyang tatlong points na in-emphasis. Individuals imitate others in proportion to the intensity and frequency of their contact. So, kung mas madalas mo siyang kasama, syempre, mas malaki yung chance na siya po ay tularan mo. Lalo na pag iniidolo mo yan. Inferiors imitate superiors. Tama nga naman. Yung mga subordinates ay tutularan yung kanyang mga superiors, yung mga nauna. Ba? Yung mga nauna tutularan ng mga bago. Okay? Yan. Then, of course, when two behavior patterns clash, one may take the place of the other, as when guns largely replace knife as murder's weapon. Okay? So, syempre, kung may nanalo, hindi yun ang uuso. Ha? So, tulad nga nun, example lang, no? So, that is the law of imitation. Tinutularan yung pong bagay, no, na ating nakikita, na tinutularan natin yung pong ginagawa ng ating mga nakakasama, no? Yan. For example po, yung ilang pulis, nakita, big time yung isang pulis, PO1 pa lang, eh, meron ng bahay, no? Meron ng kotse. Siyempre, tatanungin mo ano yung kanyang ginagawa, pinagkakakitaan, bakit sa ganun. Tutularan mo ngayon. No? Kasi gusto mo rin na magkaroon ng bahay. Di ba? So, ganun. So, that is law of imitation. Imitate. No? Paggaya, in short. No? So, that was by Gabriel Tarde. We have also Jeremy Bentham. Ito po ay nag-introduce nung pong utilitarianism, no? Sila yung nag-introduce po ng tinatawag po nating classical theory, no? He introduced utilitarianism, which states that man seek pleasure and avoid pain, no? Utilitarianism also assumes that all of our actions are calculated in accordance with the likelihood of bringing happiness or unhappiness. Yan nga po yung pleasure. No? People weigh the probabilities of present and future pleasures against those present and future plans. No? So that is the utilitarianism. Sinasabing man seek pleasure and avoid pain. That's why if you want to prevent crime, then the pain that will be imposed upon a person who committed the crime must be higher than the pleasure that they have taken. Mas mataas dapat yung pain para hindi po mag-take ng pleasure. Ano, no? So that is Jeremy Bentham. Then we have Isaac Ray. Isaac Ray, ladies and gentlemen, is acknowledged being America's first forensic psychiatrist. Okay? Then we have Seymour Halleck. Ano naman ang kanyang contribution? Seymour Halleck, ladies and gentlemen, is an American psychologist who stated that crime and mental illness are the two possible responses to profound feelings of helplessness and hopelessness. So kung ikaw ay helpless at tingin mo walang natutulong sa iyo, no? Ikaw ay hopeless na, wala nang hope, then anong gagawin mo? You need to commit a crime. That will be your responses. Hopeless ka na eh, no? Helpless ka pa. He also stated that there's a direct impact with the environment and it will cause the sufferer to unconsciously give the wrongdoer a sense of being master of his fate. No? So, crime may be a response, no, to profound feeling of helplessness and hopelessness. Tulad ng iba na nakakapatay ng kanilang mga asawa dahil feeling nila na sila helpless at hopeless na maayos yung problema. Ganon. No? We have also August Eichhorn. August Eichhorn is the one who authored the book entitled Wayward Youth, no, in 1952, and said that the cause of crime and delinquency is what? Faulty development of child. Yeah? Pagka mali ang pagpapalaki mo noon, then that could cause crime or delinquency in the future. So yung pong mga magulang dito at pagbabalak maging magulang, take note of the statement of August Eichhorn. No? And last but not the least is Emil Durkheim, wherein he introduced his anomie theory, no? Wherein he stated that crime is normal and crime is functional. Okay? Crime is normal, no? So that we can say that other acts are wrong and other acts are right. Kaya normal lang daw ang krimen para masabi natin na yung ibang gawain ay tama, yung ibang gawain ay mali. Para meron tayong basis of comparison. Yun lang yun. And crime is functional because it is progressive. It changes from time to time. Okay? So hanggang doon lamang po yung pong ating pag-uusapan dito sa video presentation na ito at sana po ay meron kayong natutunan, no, tungkol po sa ating na-discuss dito po sa ating short video presentation. So muli, maraming salamat sa inyong walang kawang pagtangkilik at pagtanggap dito po sa ating video presentation. At kung meron kong natutunan mula dito sa short video presentation, huwag kalimutang mag-subscribe. I-click mo na rin yung pong bell button o yung pong notification bell. Click mo yung all para ikaw po ay ma-update kung meron akong bagong video na i-upload. Maraming salamat muli. Ito po ang inyong abang lingkod sa aming Bingwasan ni Stoke. Nagsasabi ng magandang araw o magandang gabi or magandang umaga sa inyong lahat. God bless you all, ladies and gentlemen.